Welcome to another stock analysis video performed by MajesticTrader.com, where active traders seek greater profits. So let's begin. Hi everybody, this is Ron Lang with MajesticTrader.com, and we are doing our weekly video analysis on the S&P 500 and some market leaders. So we'll start here with the S&P 500. We had another terrific week this week, and one hell of a follow through on Thursday with the temporary fix for the EU debt crisis to be able to backstop the Greece and Italian debt, at least for the next 6 to 12 months. There's a lot of things that can happen between now and then, and a lot of I's that need to get dotted and T's that need to get crossed. But right now the market liked where we were. But we'll go through some of the market leaders in a little bit because I'm still very leery of this market. But one of the things that we want to look forward to is that we've had over a 200-point run in the S&P from the low of 1074 to a high of 1291 in just over 3.5 weeks. So we are looking for a pullback here. Earnings is starting to wane a little bit as far as some of the major market cap companies. And not only that too, but it's at the end of the month. So we knew that the markets are going to get propped up a little bit. So we're looking for some profit taking. So we're looking at really two major target ranges. Number one, this target range here, which is 1256, but more likely we're going to get a retest of where the breakout was, this range here of 1227 to 1240 at the minimum. And 1240 is a 23% retracement of the peak at 1291. So that's kind of where we're looking for this range here before potentially it goes much higher to end the year between 1300 and 1325. Right now, some of the economic reports are starting to flatten, although our unemployment rate is still pretty high, and we're going to get our new number this Friday, November 4th, plus a lot of other big economic reports this upcoming week, such as motor vehicle sales, ISM non-manufacturing, ISM manufacturing, and our ADP employment report. So there's quite a few reports coming up this week that will certainly push our markets all over the place. But one thing is for certain, whether it's going to happen Monday or sometime next week, we are going to get a pullback to this range or area here before potentially we could use that as a springboard to go much higher. So let's take a look at our market leaders here. First is Apple. And even though we've had an unbelievable run here, look at the price action here and this consolidation with Apple over the last week and a half. I mean, we've had one hell of a run here with the market, but the price here is pretty much consolidated. Look at the volume. Volume's kind of going down. Obviously, the financials were real big this past week, and we'll go through that in a minute. But we can really look at this and say, well, why weren't some of the higher flyers that we look at really truly participate? Let's look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar had a very good couple of weeks here. It shot right through this supply resistance area and looking to come up here to the 110 area. We could look at a pullback here to $93 before it potentially goes higher. But right now, Cat is looking pretty good. Looking at Chevron. Chevron right now looks like it could be potentially petering out. We are at the top of the supply resistance area here at 110. And the volume has been pretty good here over the last week, but the entire energy sector has been looking pretty good. It'll be interesting to see if we can not only break through with price, but with volume to go continuously higher here. We could be looking at a pullback here to about the 100 or the 105 area before potentially we use that as a springboard to go higher. Right now we look a little bit overextended, and we could get a reversion back to the mean here around 100. So let's look at GE. GE has barely participated in this rally. It's gone up a little bit. It has consolidated, had a nice day here Thursday and Friday, but still has a little ways to go till we get to this supply resistance area here. But we might even get a pullback to this mean area here around 1625 to 1650 before we go higher. Looking at Google. Google had some terrific price action here since its earnings. The nice thing that we want to see here is that it didn't come all the way back to fill this gap yet. It actually based, consolidated, and went higher. So we could actually be looking at a high here of another $12 to $15 to the supply resistance area here before we come back for a mean reversion back to the 570 area here, because obviously this mean reversion will come up to the 570, 580 as the price goes back up and then springs back to the mean before potentially it goes higher. Looking at IBM, IBM had a hard fall right after earnings, has rallied in price very, very well, but also notice here, it's only been at average to below average volume over the last week as it re-enters the supply resistance area. So we are actually looking for a retest of the mean reversion here about 182, 183 before potentially we come back into this zone again and potentially breaks higher. IBM is certainly leading the market and the technicals. Looking at Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola has somewhat participated in this rally, but look at the volume here. It's been kind of anemic, not even really averaging its average volume. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at Thursday, which we had a big day, we were above average in volume, but we were essentially down on the day intraday, even though we were up from the previous day pretty big. This could be a sign here, with this candlestick here being a bullish engulfing candle. We could be looking to go higher before we go to the downside. Again, we're looking for a target here of around 70.52 before potentially we come back to a mean reversion at $67 to $68. McDonald's has just been on a rocket ship. It has just gone through this resistance supply area here to meet new all-time highs. We are looking for a pullback here at least to the zone area, $90 to $91 before potentially going higher. Microsoft hasn't participated as much in this rally as we would have liked to have seen. As you could tell here, it had a nice rally since the beginning of October, since we hit that October 4 low, but is really based and consolidated in this area here and really hasn't had a terrific push to go higher. As you can see here, the volume has been below its average line here, so it's going to take a lot more for this to push higher. Procter & Gamble has actually been very disappointing as a part of the broader market. It's had decent volume and has participated in some of these rallies, but look, as a consumer goods and everybody looking to purchase their goods on a regular basis as a household item, it actually went back to the mean reversion here and looking to go potentially higher to the 66.50 area. Before maybe a pullback. But with this light volume, I might actually be looking for a pullback to the 50-day moving average here at around 63.50, 63.75 before potentially going higher. AT&T has had very interesting action here. Very good green volume bars here, but not really with the average. So even though it's gone up and it's hit this supply resistance area here, we might be looking for a pullback to the mean here at around $28.85 to $29 before potentially going higher. So we want to look at that. The other thing to remember here about telephone is Tuesday, November 1st, we have a 40-cent dividend that's being paid. So this will most definitely go down a little bit before it goes higher. Looking at Walmart here, it's looking at 52-week highs. It's actually at the top of its supply resistance zone here, but kind of anemic volume. It had good volume here on Thursday, which was good to see, but we had a pullback. So we could actually be looking at a further pullback to the $55, $56 level before it tries to go higher. The longer it stays in the supply resistance area, the weaker it becomes. So if we get some good volume, we will push much higher on Walmart. On ExxonMobil, we've had some terrific price action here, but it's approaching the supply resistance zone here. So with this volume here, which has been pretty good, being also in the energy sector here, which has propelled it, will there be more buyers when it hits here? We believe that this will pull back probably to the $76, $77 area before it goes higher as a part of profit taking, which is just a healthy part of the market price action. Looking at the transportation index, the Dow Jones Transportation Index, one of the things that we can see here, it's been on a terrific run, and we look at the transportation sector as a good indication of future market movement. But you can see we're approaching this supply resistance zone, and I don't know how many more buyers are going to be in here. We're looking for a pullback potentially to the mean before it actually comes back into the zone and then goes higher here to its late June high at 5,500 level. So that is our weekly video review. We're looking for a pullback in the market, perhaps at least 3 to 5%, or as much as 8%, depending on some of the economic reports we get this week before we push further after the Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you for attending another MajesticTrader.com's stock chart analysis. Visit our website to request one of our newsletters. Go to our website at www.majestictrader.com. In the upper right-hand corner, put in your email address and your name, and we'll send you out a copy. Once you become a member, you'll have access to complete trade performance, all stock analysis videos, archived newsletters, and midweek alerts that are trading ideas. We'll send those out to you via email. Again, thank you for attending.